Hello, one and all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where in the world you're watching us from. Welcome to the final Code Crown podcast of 2023.
Wow.
Just because of the way timing worked out,
Mm.
we are here with Digimon Seekers 4-2. We will do 4-3. We know 4-3 is out at time of recording. It's the holiday season. We've been busy. So we know that will go out on Wednesday at its normal scheduled time.
Yeah.
After today, everything should go back to some sense of normality. So
We'll know what day it is.
yeah, we'll know what day it is again. And it's one of those years where like Monday is the first, Tuesday is the second,
Yeah.
Wednesday is the third. So that's great. We're 3 days in. It's Wednesday. Wonderful. It's going to be one of those days. So my name is AJ. I am your gogglehead in charge, joined along, of course, by Miss Megmon.
Hello.
Who is also celebrating a birthday today.
Yay.
So yippee-ki-yay. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So 4-2 I think was a much better, like, let's just say episode, for argument's sake. I think it was a much better episode than 4-1.
Yes, it was. It was a lot more engaging.
Yeah, definitely. Like you had like they kind of laid out what the plan was, what the strategy was. They didn't spend forever describing everything.
Yeah.
Like there was two real descriptions, the High Tyrannomon on screen, and then of course we'll get to that at the end of the chapter. But they did they didn't spend. It didn't feel like we were in
Geronimo?
Sorry, High Commandramon.
Commandramon.
Yeah, sorry, High Commandramon. Sorry.
I'm surprised you messed that up.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised I messed that up. I love this thing. I love this thing so much. But
You just miss AG's Tyrannomon, that's all.
yeah, that's it. I do. I miss AG's Tyrannomon. It feels like we haven't seen them in like forever. Since the fight with Leon, I don't think we've seen them.
Yeah.
It definitely feels that way.
Lugamon should be commanding them right now.
Yeah. But so we get the plan and like what it like luring the Digi-police and like rallying everybody. It was all part of a 2-stage plan to let Dorogoromon and Oryumon, battle it out. And Kosuke is very confident he can win. We don't know why yet, but I guess we'll find that out next week, because from what I've skimmed of 4-3, that doesn't seem to have come out either. I don't know. I haven't like read 4-3, but I kind of like just skimmed through it because I had to pull the image for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I've just missed it because I literally did just kind of skim it to see how long it was, or that kind of thing. But on 4-2, I really do like how connected everything feels. Just in terms of like who, like AG and Marvin seem to have this like little bit of banter going on. Lugamon's also calling him old man.
Yeah.
Like Lugamon has no respect for anything.
Nope.
Or anyone. I like that like even Satsuki seems to have like stepped up her game. We got names of 2 other Digi-police officers who were mind linked with normal Commandramon, and we learned about Commandramon's like camouflage abilities and all of that stuff. So it's like it was a really good chapter overall. And then of course like and just what I say about the connectivity and how like well like assembled, for lack of a better term. Everyone also seems like AG does spend a portion of this chapter like, what am I fighting for? And like, Kosuke's got this going on. Such and such has got this going on.
Yeah.
But like they kind of like reconcile it. No, like their driving force is to save their friends, and like Kosuke's urging him on, like, you can do it this time. You can Digivolve, AG. We believe in you. And there's a big rah-rah, and you're just like, oh, you don't get the sense that Tartarus is a like commanding officer so much as he is like a friend and ally.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, like he's in the middle of his own big epic battle, and he still has time to like shout his like cheers at Eiji. You can do it.
Yeah. I did like that they sort of inferred that Satsuki might be like stronger than Marvin. Because we learn that Satsuki is commanding all of the Commandramon while mind linked with Numamon, which is like holy shit! Oh wow! And even Eiji like, so you mean
Airdramon is also commanding one side of the field, I think.
Marvin says he doesn't have the concentration to do that level of commanding. Like all his Espimon are running on bots. So
don't say something about Airdramon commanding something, no. Yeah, maybe it's not as much as her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got some serious concentration.
Yeah. Which is wild to me, because then when you find out that like there are 2 other actual officers on the field, because Lugarmon does a scan, and the 2 of the Commandramon come up with like the mind link icon. It's pretty dang good. But yeah, I think as you say, like it is definitely a much more engaging chapter. I like the description of the High Commandramon being something like to the effect of, it looks like the Commandramon, grew bigger and visited an armory.
Yeah.
This
chapter is a lot faster.
Yeah, no, it definitely
but it's not rushed.
No.
It's fast paced, it's well paced.
Yeah. I don't think it's as long as 4-1, but if it is, like,
that's because they don't describe everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's what I was going to say. It doesn't feel like we're in, like, a chapter of The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Where it's like they crossed the field and the field was green, the green field was full of trees, and the trees had branches, and the branches were brown, and the brown branches were fallen on the ground, and the fallen on the ground they were rotted and decayed. On the green fields of the green fields they were traveling. That kind of nonsense that like Lord of the Rings does. But but yeah, it is just so much like it's just everything is happening. You get a sense of urgency about it. I'm very curious to see like what Kosuke's like winning move is here. They refer to Yulin again as like the Crossroads Witch.
Yeah.
And Eiji's like, was she a hacker or a codecracker? I wonder. So like they're just like, again, just kind of tying everything together and pulling it in and interweaving all these characters and destinies. And
although if she has a sense of justice, then she must be a hacker.
I'd say she was a hacker more than a code cracker. But I guess we'll find that out when we open the gate. I did like the idea that like their idea to take on like the gatekeepers and the Commandramon who were camouflaged was like, I'll just send Espimon after them. Because Espimon can also camouflage and sow chaos.
Yeah. And I liked when was it Lugarmon was like, how are we gonna know where to hit them? And Eiji's like, just send the fire out in all directions.
Yeah, like use your howling not howling blaster, that's howling burner. Howling blaster is Garurumon's dub attack name, which I think is hilarious because then we have howling burner for another wolf Digimon that eventually ends up on 2 legs.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, which direction? Yes.
Yeah. 360.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's a good implement of just like giving an idea of what sort of scale is kind of on the battlefield right now, but not making it overwhelming for the reader, and still somehow managing to just keep it snappy.
Yeah. One thing I liked as well, I think Marvin, now maybe this is what he was commanding, but he ended up sending a bunch of gatekeepers after Satsuki.
But yeah, because he sent out the Espimon using a bot. They were all bot controlled Espimon.
Yeah.
So they riled up the gatekeepers, and the gatekeepers because the gatekeepers don't discern friend or foe.
Yeah.
So he was able to use the Espimon to go after Satsuki's fleet.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what they were chasing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that was really well done.
Yeah, no, it was. There's a lot of like good moments in this, and
they're all very good.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce
it. Yeah, because like this is all Eiji's plan apparently. Like Eiji came up with like stage 1, stage 2, and Tartarus is just giving him that push while he's on the field. And then it works out because Lugarmon is able to take out like come in on the flank and kind of doesn't disable the Mechanorimon, but certainly incapacitates it.
Yeah.
But
picturing the Mechanorimon falling over, and Satsuki and Numamon are still squished into the.
And then like we talked about earlier, they resolve that like what their role in all of this is to save their friends, and the light of evolution will carry them forward, and etc. And Kosuke encourages Eiji to go for it, and Lugarmon digivolves to Soul Lugarmon. Now we don't get its name, but we get a hell of a description about it.
Yeah.
And then like it's just like all will burn. I was just like, oh, that's not terrifying at all.
Yeah. Kind of reminiscent of Omegamon. There's like all delete or delete all. Or, well, he says delete all in this, doesn't he? Yeah.
But the attack name should be all delete. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of that like, oh, you're all dead.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's pretty good. Like he's not named, but the chapter does end on the evolution itself happening. So he hasn't been named yet, and I presume that's going to be 4-3, because like it does make the comment of like where Hell Lugarmon was just pure hellfire. No, this is the fires of the sun. This is they really kind of go out of their way to like show why this evolution is different to what happened before.
Yeah, what was it said about Hell Lugarmon? It was like the flames were burning up his bones or something.
Yeah.
It's making it sound really like gross. And, yeah.
Like you wanted, like the text wanted to put this terrifying image in your mind. And while I don't think Guy Fieri Wolf is, I say that like he's got a motorcycle with like he looks like he's been plated by a motorcycle, or he looks like he works in a garage or something. So Lugarmon, it's a design I'm still getting used to.
Yeah.
Because it's such an outlier, and I get what they were going for. Because if you look at like Gabumon to Garurumon, well, Gabumon is a reptile wearing a Garurumon pelt, so him becoming a wolf makes sense. You have that theming.
Yeah.
Where Garurumon, he turns into a punk rocker.
Yeah.
But then for Metal Garurumon, he goes back down on 4 legs, but he still looks like the original Garurumon. Just plated in a bunch of armor.
Yeah.
Soul Lugarmon, I'm still looking at the design and going, well, Lugarmon is in there, but it's going to be such an outlier when we go to Fenrir Lugarmon.
Yeah.
Who is very Japanese. And I don't say that. I don't see that in a bad sense. Because thematically it makes sense with Oryumon and Dorogoramon. They have this kind of, we talked about it previously. They have this theming to them. So Fenrir Lugamon also being a prototype Digimon, that makes sense. You keep that sort of theming going.
Yeah.
And when he jogresses with Kazuchimon later, who is also a big electric Japanese god.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But I'm still looking at Soul Lugarmon, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm sold. The design is awesome. I just don't know if it's in the right evolution line.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, like some kind of side evolution.
Yeah.
It's not a main one, like I don't know.
Yeah, no,
what are the other ones, like armors or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like something like that. Like it doesn't fit, but it's still one of them. Like those other Gamamon.
Yeah.
That weren't Gamamons.
Oh, like Fumamon and those ones, and Bombmon and
something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it feels like he shouldn't be in the main line, but he's still one of them.
Yeah. No, I get that. I like and again, like they had all the opportunity in the world to just not put him on 2 legs. Just don't make him bipedal if he's going to be quadrupedal on his next evolution again.
Yeah.
But like again, it's an awesome design. I don't know if it works for me in the Lugomon lineup.
Yeah, I would have preferred him to stay on all fours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we do, like as I said, like I went, I had to do some digging on 4-3, sorry, to make sure I had the image for when we record. Our thoughts on that one after reading it properly. And like it's an awesome image. I love it.
Yeah.
And like but all I see is Lugomon's head on a motorcycle, a humanoid motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like they even said like his like it's even more obvious like his like the chapter does say it. Like his big mace is a wrench that spews fire.
Yeah.
Like I just don't get how this works within the concept of Lugomon.
Yeah.
The demon of the nine wolves is now a mechanic.
I guess is the is Ninth Avenue like a garage slum?
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Like I really do like it, and I get what they were going for in making it kind of, in making it a not maybe not Garurumon-esque, but certainly
I think they're trying to create a new Garurumon for people to fawn over.
I don't know, because Garurumon is like
they still as popular as ever.
Yeah, well,
in that respect.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't miss something if it doesn't go away. But like whenever, and we were kind of talking about this previously, where when Digimon Con turns up and it's going to be celebrating 25 years of Digimon animation, it's really going to be celebrating 25 years of Digimon Adventure 99.
Yeah.
And Gururumon's a big part of that. So, you can't miss something if it doesn't go away. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think,
or at least the people.
I don't think
seekers as opposed to just
the
higher ups.
Well, maybe. I mean,
they're hoping to maybe
help. Maybe it's something to. I don't know.
Like what they did with Offman.
Yeah.
What does he turn into?
Oh, also
Digimon Wolf guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotman.
Shotman. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they kind of were kind of the same. Like, hey, look, he's kind of sexy.
Yeah, but that would require the fan base to acknowledge Atmon.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As in the people creating it are kind of like, hey, like our one.
Yeah. Yeah,
You'll like wolves on two legs, right?
Yeah, I'd love to buy into that. I genuinely would. But I think Seekers has so much of a bad reputation now that not enough people would bother paying attention to it.
Yeah, but he was created before it was put out.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their hope, that he'd draw more people in.
Oh, you're still talking about Shotman. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about Digimon.
Well, no, he was made for this, so...
Yeah, but what I mean is he was drawn before this fell off.
Well, yeah.
He was created...
Yeah, but Seekers got such a bad reputation, not enough people stuck around to see it happen.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. And that's...
But that's what I mean. It was probably their hope that he might keep people interested.
Yeah.
But
appeal to a certain demographic.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at with all of this.
No, I guess the point I was trying to get to was, in what I was saying about Garurumon, you can't miss something if it doesn't go away. Like, we're playing through Survive right now. A Garurumon is a huge part of the story in that.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they didn't push, and this, I'm not gonna go into it like I'm not gonna go into it in a old man yells at cloud rant here or anything. But I feel like if they didn't push adventure as hard as they did, because adventure is the fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers of the Digimon show.
Yeah.
They can't sell anything outside of it, it seems. Right. But if the fan base had moved along with Digimon outside of adventure, and to an extent 02, I feel like your point would be more of what I feel like I'd buy into that just that little bit extra, because he reminds me of this one I liked back then. But because that one you liked back then is still in the forefront of everything, you haven't had the opportunity to miss that. So you go, well, why would I pay attention to that one when this one is still in front of me?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was getting to. You know, they don't give you the chance to reminisce when they're still throwing it in your face every other product release.
Yeah, it's so weird because I'm always like, stop putting Agumon into everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Agumon, but when it's not Agumon, people don't like it.
No.
The majority don't like it.
The majority. Unfortunately, it's the majority.
Yeah. Other people can appreciate that not every Digimon show or game has to be based around the exact same ones. And I say that as someone who came to it very late.
Yeah.
But
it's like, you know, it's like, and I feel this with Pokemon as well. Because Pokemon has this problem with Pikachu.
Yeah. Pikachu's the Agumon
of that franchise. Yeah. No, and Pokemon's obviously so much more successful. But when they got rid of Ash from the anime, they had the perfect opportunity to retire Pikachu for a while and let new Pokemon, new mascots, right?
They went as far as Charizard, really, in that regard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could have retired Charizard as well, and this is where I kind of come to as well. Because as soon as the new anime started, you had the new girl, Liko, and her Sprigatito. You had Roy, and I think he has a Fuecoco. And he has a mysterious Pokeball with a black Rayquaza in it. And she has a pendant that's related to Terapagos.
Right.
Fair enough, right? One of the other main characters in that new show is like this airline captain or something.
Right.
But he rides around on a Charizard. And his partner is Captain Pikachu.
Oh, for God's sake.
So they couldn't even let Charizard and Pikachu rest when they got rid of Ash. Yeah. They couldn't just move on.
But since kind of Leon had the Charizard, I feel like they were pushing Charizard a bit more.
Oh, even before that, like when X and Y came out, Charizard was one of the few who got 2 Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
I think Charizard and Mewtwo got an X evolution and a Y evolution. You know, and that I think that's where a lot of the fan base kind of went, hey, why does Charizard get the preferential treatment?
Yeah.
And then, you know, he got the special Gigantamax form, and then it's just like, oh God, just stop with Charizard.
Yeah.
He's not even a real dragon.
Yeah, it's like they're too afraid, like Digimon, they're too afraid to go outside of the first generation.
Yeah.
Like if they just stopped with the first set of starters and started pushing, I don't know, Piplup or someone as the main character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Piplup did see a time in the anime.
I'm just using him as an example. Just any of.
Oh no, but I know someone will hear that and go, "Well, actually, Piplup was a great part of the Diamond and Pearl anime because he was Dawn's partner." Pal.
That's probably why he came to mind, because he was one of the ones that got a push.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You need to give something else a push from time to time.
Yeah.
You know, and I really hoped with a new anime, a new cast of characters, that, you know, Pikachu wasn't going to be a main character. And nope.
They just feel like everyone needs that little crutch to lean on to like the new stuff, and but then in their experience with other things, people won't give things a chance if these characters aren't in them.
No. And I say this as someone whose favorite Digimon anime is Digimon Sabers, where the main character was given an Agumon. However, the Agumon was made to look structurally different from the original. He was bigger, he had a more rounded face, he has larger nostrils. There's a joke that consistently throughout that show about how he looks like a frog. And they gave him like the red gauntlet things and a whole different evolution line. So he doesn't turn into an Omegamon at the end.
Yeah.
So they at least try to do something. The problem with Pokemon is you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, Pikachu is always going to turn into Raichu.
Yeah.
Or
they don't have really divergent ones.
No,
like that.
You get a lowland Raichu if you feed it enough pancakes for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. But because Pikachu is a mascot character, I really doubt they're going to turn a main character's Pikachu into a Raichu, because then you can't have Pikachu on your cover art for shows and movies and etc.
Yeah, once he evolves and Pikachu is gone, because they don't devolve.
Exactly.
Like, they just won't do that.
So yeah. So like, as much as I really would like your idea of like Soul Lugermon, like this whole evolution line being a, hey, remember Garurumon? Isn't that a nice sort of like, oh hey, cool, they did this idea again. Doesn't work when Garurumon is still there.
Yeah.
Especially
he's probably on the battlefield right now.
Well, yeah. Like there's like the 2020 reboot. You know, it was only 3 years ago. God, 3 years ago. Still feels like it's recent enough, and like we still joke about how Yamato stole Sora's episode.
Yeah.
To get, funnily enough, where Garurumon.
Yeah. Just he's everywhere.
Yeah. So again, if something doesn't go away, you can't miss it. It's my problem with Seth Rollins right now. He's been actively on TV for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my from a wrestling perspective, that's my problem with Seth Rollins, where I don't care for the current Liberace character.
Yeah.
But he's been on television for like 8 years straight.
Yeah, give him a breakaway, and then maybe we'll be excited about him when he comes back.
Give the man a fucking holiday. I think he went out with injury a couple of years ago. Because and I remember him coming back, and they were like, "How is he ever going to be the same? His poor knee." And then they sold his knee for like 3 months, and then, but it's Seth Rollins, he doesn't know how to sell. So he's like, he's like, "Ow, my knee." Currently, the way he's like, "Ow, my back," and then still doing something where he lands on his fucking back.
Yeah.
Or his knees. You're like, oh God, the man does not know how to sell.
But yeah, you're right. He needs to go away. People will miss him, and then he can have his comeback.
Yeah, and then people might like him again.
Yeah,
might.
That's what I always said when Westlife broke up. The Irish group. If people don't know the I don't want to call them a band. They're just a bunch of singers. But anyway,
boy band. They're a pop band. Yeah, pop band. Yeah.
But they broke up, and I was like, they're only breaking up because they're not popular right now. They'll be back in like 3 years for their comeback tour. And it's just it's the money grab.
It's the marketing. Yeah, the marketing machine.
Yeah, people will hear they broke up and go, oh, I used to love them, and then they'll come back and make all their money off to people who are nostalgic.
Yeah,
like that's kind of the same deal.
Yeah,
they implemented it, whereas other things aren't doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Garurumon gone away. But I feel like Lugerman. I feel like the Lugerman line would have been more popular.
Yeah. Like, that's also, a lot of that is like kind of on the production themselves. And again, I'm trying to not go into Old Man Yells at Cloud here, but like there was a recent interview where they were like, oh, we would rather let the fans advertise and have it be popular through word of mouth. And remember that?
Yeah.
Like, we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. And it's just like so you're actively admitting you're not putting anything into the marketing.
Yeah. And the problem with that is the product didn't start out good enough for word of mouth to get around in a positive light.
Well, no, it didn't, because the first 2 chapters of this were AI generated. And people went, nah, I'm done. We talked about previously, like, if you go to the Digimon Seekers website, before you click into the novel, the immediate splash page you're on is still AI generated. Yeah. It hasn't been cleaned up. It hasn't been, it hasn't been tidied or given any sort of sense of, professionalism.
They've no pride in it at all.
No, there's no pride in it.
Slapped together.
And that's why I'm worried about, it's why I'm worried about Liberator to an extent.
That it'll get the same treatment.
Yeah, but apparently the Dreamers manga translations have been done by an actual company, and people aren't like gushing about Dreamers online, but it seems to have a better reputation than Seekers right now. So maybe the Liberator manga will be translated by the same company, and we'll have a product that's coherent from the get-go.
Yeah. I didn't have any hope for Dreamers when I saw that they're
the immediate
their immediate thing as well. Yeah,
because again, AI generated, and that was where everyone kind of went, oh, they're doing it again. Yeah, like AI translations. So, but anyway, so back to Seekers. I like it is just a big battle. Like effectively, it is just a big battle.
Like last episode was a big battle as well.
Yeah,
but this feels more like
stuff is happening.
Like I feel like I can just immerse myself in this one and just imagine it.
Yeah, because it's taking you to different parts of the battlefield, and it's also reminding you that Dorogoromon and Oryumon are like kicking the tar out of each other, 50 feet in the air as well.
It doesn't feel like last episode where you're trying to get into it and use your imagination, and it's like, no, you're wrong. It looks like this, and it's described like this, and it's this color, and it's that, and that takes you out of it.
Yeah, it does. Where this, again, it's darting all over the battlefield. You're seeing the different characters interact, like Eiji and Satsuki, Eiji and Marvin, Lugumon, and Eiji and Lugumon. Like, there's a big focus on like just making sure that you're able to keep up with what like Eiji and other characters are doing in any given moment, and and getting a sense of scale for how big the like Commandramon army that Satsuki is commanding is. It just
we forgot to say as well, Satsuki realizes that Eiji is dangerous as well.
Yeah, she has.
That he's smarter than she thinks he is as well.
Because he put again all that strategy. She's like, oh, I was actually caught off guard. This kid is actually dangerous. So, and it also gives you that sense where, because they even comment on like how different Satsuki is compared to their original like clash back at the Castle of Nine Wolves.
Yeah.
During the SOC exams. And so while Eiji has this like moment with Marvin was like, yeah, she seems so much stronger now. That turns around later, and Satsuki also has this moment of, oh wow, okay, no, Eiji isn't just a dumb kid. I gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
That's great. Like I love this. That's why I really hope Satsuki gets to go through the gate. Based on the trailer, I don't think she's going to go through the gate.
No.
But I really do hope we get more Eiji Satsuki banter.
Definitely.
As this chapter goes on. Because I love these two. Just as a like whether they be eternal rivals or they be a pairing or a ship or whatever. I just want more of these two bashing heads.
Yeah.
And one-upping each other. I think that'd
I don't want
really
them
fun.
To just suddenly be besties or something.
No,
I want
them
to
always have this little antagonistic edge to them.
I want them to always be at odds over something.
Yeah, and but you also
in a friendly way, like.
Yeah, I was gonna say but you also get this sort of sense that while they're at odds with each other, they're kind of pushing each other forward. It's the dynamic I really.
They hate each other, but they're fond of each other.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
We missed anything?
No, I was trying to find the names of.
Okay.
Are they there?
Done this one. Tachibana.
Oh yeah.
Sakurada.
So Tachibana and Sakurada are the other two Digi-police officers that get a name drop. Not much of a name drop, but we know they're mind linked with other Commandramon.
Is this the first time we've seen? This is the first time we've seen anyone aside from the main character.
Yeah.
Be mind linked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we weren't sure the other times with the police. Because it was just the. Ooh. Ouch.
Oh, yeah. I have bust a gusher.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm just gonna pause the recording real quick. I flipped my leg off the side of the bed earlier, and now I'm just feeling the the flow. No, that's a weird phrase. That's a weird turn of phrasing. But hold on, I'm just gonna pause the recording real quick while I tend to this. Okay, cool. So sorry about that. I'm all patched up now.
Yeah. There's Meg to the rescue.
Yeah. The break between those words was different in my head than how you said it. You said Nurse Meg. I had Nurse Meg.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now my brain is like nutmeg.
Well, it is your birthday after all.
Anyway. So Seekers.
Yeah, so like overall, I think from top to bottom, it's a much better chapter than 4-1.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting into 4-3 on Tuesday. We'll read through that properly, and we'll have that ready to go for the usual time slot back on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's no point in putting them all in together here because we haven't had a good chance. So,
yeah. Ultimately, as well, again, this is the final podcast of 2023. Digimon Seekers and Seekers and Survive will return on Wednesday. Our first forays into 2024.
Yeah.
Also in 2024, once we're done with those projects, we'll be starting into Digimon Frontier and Digimon Savers. And
possibly Dreamer?
I don't know.
Is Dreamer just going to get pushed back now because of Liberators?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah. I we'll see. Maybe we'll just save the mangas for when we're done with the anime projects.
Yeah.
I think this was just kind of a special case. But I really like. It's finding the time to effectively do 3 shows a week.
Yeah.
On top of our other commitments.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if we do Liberator, we might just, rather than do it weekly, we might do it monthly and sort of read a whole chapter in one go and talk about it rather than page by page.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it's released anyway.
Yeah, we might do the first release just to sort of get a feel for it and get introduced to the characters at the very least. But as far as like just doing it on a weekly basis, like we have been with Seekers, I don't know how I feel about that. But look, we won't know till we get there. Liberator could be very engaging. And we know the new booster sets. I think it's the new starter decks, 17 and 18, are going to be based around it.
Okay.
So I imagine it's one starter deck for the feathered Pulsebon, and one starter deck for the shoe.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
The shoe. Oh, you know what? We should just pop up that little animation of the shoe. Oh
yeah, because we looked into there's no new fan art on the website. The newest fan art is the Oriumon we shared on the last podcast.
I think it was the podcast before.
Was it? I suppose, it was December 17th. It was when the artist released it. So it might have been 2 weeks ago we showed that artwork off.
I think it was a case of we showed it off and then it was on the website.
Yeah. Which usually happens.
Yeah, because we get there first.
Yeah, we get there first because the website doesn't update immediately. Or at all sometimes. I do feel like there was a 3-week span there where nothing updated.
Yeah. Now we're in another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, we can just pop up that little tweet of the shoe.
Yeah, let me open Twitter back up. Oh, speaking of Twitter, not only is today the last podcast of 2023, this is also going to be our last day on Twitter.
Yes.
So going forward, and when we come back with the next episode and Survive, it will be in the corner, the new little animation thing. We will be over on Blue Sky from then. So we're going to the Butterfly social media channel.
That's fitting.
Isn't it? That's what I thought. I thought it was very fitting that we were moving over to the Butterfly website. So so yeah, let's let me try and find this
the shoe. I think I liked it on
Megmon.
On the Megmon one, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey, balloons.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Meg.
Thank you.
Chat, I want all of you to wish Meg a happy birthday. There it is.
There it is.
So. There it is.
Oh. He big.
He big. Yeah.
Big shoe.
Really big shoe. Really big. Okay, So, also I noticed it's a very cyber sleuthy background that the shoe is on.
Yeah.
It does look like it's just frolicking through Eden.
Mm. Now you can see the artist's name there. Ziel?
Yeah.
Art? Yeah. It's in the corner.
It's also there.
It's Ziel 5, yeah. Love this guy. He's a shoe.
I really, and this has made me really hope that it's the shoe that's sentient.
Yeah.
But here, let me just play. That's cute.
Look at him go.
It's such a cutie. I love it.
See.
Guys, thank you all for a fantastic 2023.
Yes, thank you.
You know, we kind of said it on the last Survive playthrough there when we went through part 7. But it's just been an incredible year overall. We couldn't ask for a better community. We couldn't ask, just between the banter, the memes, just everything. You guys
are great.
Yeah, you guys make doing this all worthwhile, and we can't wait to see what fun and shenanigans we get into in 2024 with you.
Yeah, especially with the new shows coming up.
Yeah.
Whole rake of new memes.
That's it. Yeah. New characters to like, new characters to hate, new characters to, be non-committal on.
Yeah, indifferent too.
Yeah. And hopefully, and then we have Digimon Con, which, I don't know if we're going to live stream. If I'm not on call for work, I might, but if I am, I also might, because I'm going to be up anyway.
Yeah, I think you might be on your own there.
Yeah, I know. It really just depends on, what the card looks like closer to the event.
But even then, I wouldn't put too much stock in that either.
No.
They're like, news about new game, and it'll just be an image and a name, and that's it. You won't get any information about what it is.
Yeah, I don't like that they're doing a survey about games when they're meant to have been developing one for the last nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
That's worrying to me. But we'll see how that goes. Digimon Con always gives us a good bit of a giggle, if nothing else.
But all the terrible pronunciations.
Exactly. And just how boring the event is, and how
we make our own fun.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just got to make your own fun. So I'm looking forward to that, if nothing else. Frontier and Savers, I guess we'll talk about it closer to when we're starting to watch those shows, because we'll still be working on Seekers until it ends, probably about March. And Survive, we're starting into part 8. So there's 12 chapters on the other timelines.
Yeah.
I don't know if that extends into the golden route.
Yeah, because that thing where they're all dead, that can't really happen now, can
it? No. So I wonder, but I wonder if because everybody lived, I wonder if we'll get more story.
Yeah, it ends sooner, but they go further with it.
Yeah. Something else happens regarding the Kemonogami faith and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the maidens and all of that, and all of that lore. I feel like there was a lot of it we couldn't learn because we lost certain characters, and then there was depending on the timeline, it's either the apocalypse or the characters are fugitives, or they've set up Charles Xavier's, school for Digidestined or whatever. So I feel like there's a lot that the game hasn't told us that maybe we'll see more of on this route.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a time frame. If we're kind of barreling through currently at a chapter per stream. We're on 8 now, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 minimum. Could go beyond.
Good.
I guess we'll see. I thought chapter 7 was going to end with Takuma going home. Oh, it did. He still did the whole thing where he sacrificed himself to save Miyuki.
Yes. But...
And then chapter 8 has kicked off. in a flashback ? And we're in Takuma's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we'll be picking up from Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look forward to it. Thank you all again for a fantastic 2023. Let's rock on into 2024 and just, go bigger and better.
Dive into the future and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just want to dive into the future. Da 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 da. Yeah, but just look after yourselves. See you next year.
See you next year.
Sorry, it's cheesy, but I had to do it. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and just all of it. As we've said, it means the world. Zawardo, almost. And yeah, we'll see you all very soon. So much love. Take care. And good morning.
Good morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Done. One last time.